a Viessmann combi with a weather compensation hot water cylinder. So it's the old age problem: how do I connect a weather compensated combination boiler to a cylinder? And this is before I'd thought about the plate loading conundrum. So on this one, what I've done is I've used the cylinder stand to one, it does the G3 valve, but two, controls the diverter valve. And then what it does, it sends a switch across the flow switch inside the boiler, so that the boiler senses the flow of water through it, fires up the boiler in high temperature mode, and I've disconnected the diverter valve so that basically the high temperature water coming from the primary heat exchanger, instead of going around the plate heat exchanger, comes down the main system pipes and is sent via the diverter valve to my hot water cylinder until my cylinder state is satisfied, and then the electrics switch back, divert back to the central heating system, disconnecting the flow signal to the flow switch on the boiler, and works very well. The only complication is that when the boiler switch finishes doing hot water on the combination boiler, has a habit of dumping water back into the heating system as part of the pump overrun. So customer complained of getting a bit of tail heat in the summer in the radiators, and so we've got an isolation valve in the flow down here, so that we rely on the internal bypass in the boiler for the overrun, and we don't dump anything into the heating system. So the inconvenience of this design, simply summer and winter, he has to switch this one isolation valve on and off under the boiler. Would I do this design again? No, I wouldn't. I would always plate load now, but it was I think a clever idea to get myself out of having to buy a new boiler, or the customer to have to buy a new boiler when he had a 2-year-old combi. Seemed a shame to take out 2-year-old Viessmann 200, simply to get over the problem. So anyway, any questions, ask away.